Yo guys, what's going on? I'm Tim along with KJ, and we'll get to KJ in a second. But the bottom line is that after 4 games of the NBA Finals, and for the first time in his career, LeBron James is 1 win away from finally winning his first NBA title behind another great performance tonight. It wasn't his best scoring performance, although he lost a lot of time late in this game. He now has 16 straight games of 25 points or more. Tonight, 26 points, 9 rebounds, 12 assists, 2 steals. Honestly, I'm not trying to be biased here or anything because I enjoy watching Kevin Durant as much as him. I enjoyed watching Russell Westbrook. LeBron James is the best overall player in the NBA, and if you didn't see that tonight, then you're really not watching the game with an open mind. So first quarter, I'll go down my notes, then we'll get to KJ's, and we'll just go from there. The Thunder go down 2 to start the game. Chris Bosh hits the first jumper, but then they got on a run, made it 9-2, a 13-3 start. They got up to a 15-point lead in the first quarter. Nick Collison made a huge impact off the bench, offensively and defensively, with some key blocks and then key follow-ups offensively. And Kevin Durant had a really great first quarter with 8 points. LeBron was held at 4 points, but he also had like 3 or 4 assists and a few rebounds, so it wasn't like panicking. But if you were a Miami Heat fan, which neither of us are, if you were a Miami Heat fan watching that, you kind of had to wonder, okay, the assists are nice, but LeBron scoring 30 points has really been what has gotten the Heat to this point. What also got the Thunder out to that lead was the fact that they got into transition. When they're getting into transition, as good as Miami is on offense and transition, it does not benefit them in this series because OKC is just faster. Russell Westbrook especially, and he had a tremendous first quarter, first half, whole game really, and silenced a lot of the haters. In the second quarter, Miami pretty much erased everything that went down in the first quarter. They went on an 18-4 run. LeBron James was drawing a lot of double teams, so he hit out a lot of passed it out for a lot of 3-pointers and it wasn't Shane Battier, Mike Miller like we're used to seeing. It was James Jones, Dwayne Wade had a few threes, which you never see Dwayne Wade even really take threes. Mario Chalmers, who had a huge game tonight. So the thing that has really helped them take advantage in this series is the fact that some of these guys that we looked at throughout the playoffs and said that guy really did not have a good game, a lot of them have stepped up in this series and tonight specifically. Wade did get hurt a little bit in this game. He went up for a layup. Serge Ibaka made a clean block, but there was some body contact, and when you run into someone as big as Serge Ibaka, you're going to get the wind knocked out of you. It seemed alright. I thought that they might have to get the wheelchair out there for Dwayne Wade, no pun intended, but everything ended up being okay. LeBron only 10 in the first half, but 8 assists, 6 rebounds. Dwayne Wade had a very good first half as well, and that allowed them to be in this game. For the Thunder, it continued to be James Harden was really struggling in that first half. Kevin Durant was strong. Russell Westbrook was strong. And it was a close game at halftime. In the third, it was a back-and-forth start. And then Serge Ibaka and LeBron James got tangled up in one, rolled around. And then Ibaka basically pushed LeBron to the floor. And I thought, oh man, maybe we're going to finally get a physical type NBA Finals. I'm not talking physical like brawl at Auburn Hills in 04 with Ron Artest physical. But at least some like fighting, well, not fighting like physically, but you get where I'm going with this. But big third quarter for Mario Chalmers. LeBron James continued to distribute more than scoring, and tonight was really the only night where he was able to do that I've seen really in these playoffs, because he did not have to necessarily go out there tonight and drop 30 or 35, although he did get close to that towards the end for them to win this game. And late in that, Wade, and one of the things that allowed that tonight was Dwayne Wade was back on his game. He wasn't flash, but he was hitting a lot of big jumpers, and defensively, everywhere around this game, Dwayne Wade played a very good overall game. In the fourth quarter, Heat have the lead, and LeBron, and I'm fast-forwarding, setting the stage really late in this fourth quarter. Heat have the lead. LeBron goes in for a layup, falls awkwardly, and we still don't really know what happened. They said cramp. But the way that it was looked at for me, I think it was more than a cramp, because I've had really bad cramps, and there's never been a cramp in my life that 20 minutes later, approximately, I'm still on the sideline, and I've gotten them in games or from tryouts and long days practicing. I've never had an example where I've been sitting out 20 minutes later because of how bad it was. So I tend to think that something worse happened to LeBron. KJ, have you ever had a cramp that lasted that long?
I don't say that because I like hugs. Everyone knows I do. But, actually, for people who are high-performance athletes like LeBron that play sports nonstop for hours and hours and hours a day, people who don't get good sleep, which LeBron might be falling in that category, he might not be able to get sleep during the finals. A lot of things add up. You never know. I'm not saying LeBron consumed alcohol, but if he ever did lately, which I'm doubtful that he did, that definitely will, help cramps become very, very worse, and they do suck, and they can last for a while. But 20 minutes, I don't know, but I don't know. It could be a lot of things. You might have something strained, but cramps is definitely a possibility, Tim.
Yeah, it certainly is, and I don't know. I mean, 20 minutes is a guess. Obviously, it wasn't that long on the clock, and he did come back in. The Thunder took the lead while he was out, though. 94-92. Here's what happens, though. Kevin Durant hit a big shot, and then 94-92, LeBron comes back into a standing ovation. It was reminiscent of Paul Pierce coming back in the game a few years ago in the playoffs. I mean, I was on Twitter, and this is one of the great things about Twitter. You get reactions from all different perspectives. There's people comparing it to the bloody sock game with Curt Schilling in 2004, the ALCS. There's people comparing it to the flu game, which I think is a little bit too far, but from Michael Jordan, that obviously that commercial for Gatorade's always run. So it's 94-94. LeBron James gets the ball out, and obviously he was not okay. I mean, I think he was probably good enough to come back in the game, but if it was necessary, if this is a regular season game, obviously they just shut him down for the rest of the game and maybe a few more games. But LeBron James comes back in there, gets the ball at the top of the perimeter, and really, you could tell this guy's not driving. He's going to either take that three or dish it, and he was really, I saw him motion a couple times to Dwayne Wade that don't pass it my way, drive, get a pick and roll going with Chris Bosh. Dwayne Wade got it to him regardless. He hits a huge three, and that was one of the moment where I say, all these people that say that LeBron James doesn't have any heart, that's gone. Honestly, that is gone after seeing that. And I know that he does end up going back out, and I'll get to that in a second. But to come back in with that, hit a three, the heart thing is absolutely gone. As if it hadn't already been in these playoffs. That's the end of he doesn't have any heart. I don't like him because in the fourth quarter, he doesn't have any heart. He has heart, honestly. If you didn't see that out there tonight, and you didn't see the pain of him having to watch his teammates in a close game while he's in a lot of pain, obviously. So LeBron goes out again. The Heat up 101-98. Westbrook. All right, here's how it goes down. The Heat have a terrible possession. There's 0.8 left on the shot clock, and it actually goes back to 5 seconds because they go to a jump ball. It's a jump ball. Shane Battier takes it away from Serge Ibaka, and Russell Westbrook fouls. I think it was Mario. It was Mario Chalmers over in the corner, and the thing that was stupid about that is that he thought that the shot clock had reset, and it was only at 5 seconds. So if they hold off, then you take your chances. Either if they make the shot, the game's over. But if they miss the shot, then you're down by 3. You have a clutch shooter in Kevin Durant on your team. You have a guy in Russell Westbrook who's absolutely tearing it up tonight, and you have that chance. Stupid play by Russell Westbrook. But I have a tough time saying he choked tonight when he had 43, 7, and 5. So anyone who's going to pull that card, you're not going to be taken very seriously, to say the least. Overall in this game, a few final notes I have. Well, it's a wait and see. I'm sure at some point tonight, me and KJ might make a video about it tonight, tomorrow, whatever, about if anything further comes out about LeBron James. We'll address that in another video. But in this game, Westbrook just had a tremendous overall game. Obviously, Mario Chalmers had a huge game, ends up icing the game late. And you give a lot of props to Miami Heat. They've had a great series. They've stepped up. And the Thunder, well, it's not that they played a terrible series, but that run in the second quarter really is what killed them.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go and start from the first quarter.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I'm just going to give we both took notes, so I'm just going to give what I said. I'm just going to be brief. I said also in the first quarter, Nick Collins said he played a huge first quarter, gave a lot of good minutes, and he even drove one time on Bosch and put it in, and he played like he was another superstar on that team. But he played awesome. And then I believe I'm going to start the second quarter. That Norris Cole, along with James Jones and Wade, hit huge threes throughout the quarter, which sparked the comeback. They basically came back in this game with 5 shots when they were down by about 17 at one point. They like 5 shots made a 2-point game because they hit a couple of shots that were just so happened to be threes with guys who don't normally play, and the guy in Wade, like you said, who never takes threes. I don't even think he's taken a 3 all playoff series. But and then I'm gonna jump to about 3:33 left in the second. I don't know whoever was watching saw this, but Chris Bosh got fired up more than anybody I've ever seen in a finals playoff game. It was ridiculous. He just started big pumping, he was getting all psyched. He made just 2 awesome plays he just made, so I thought that was cool. Obviously, Westbrook, he shot in the first half. He was 9 for 15, had 18 points going in the half, and Durant was only 4 for 9, which was, you'd like to see him get more shots and make more shots. And that was their second quarter, like you said, was their downfall. And I think that they tried to put away the game way too early with taking too many unnecessary threes, unnecessary shots that they took in the beginning of the second quarter, which developed that run for Miami and really shot themselves in the foot, which ultimately could have put the game away if they got a 30-point lead, but they didn't make the shots, so it kind of shot themselves in the foot. I thought LeBron played a great first half. Obviously, I think he only had 10 points going in the half, but he had 8 assists, and he almost had a triple-double. I mean, he played great. He had 6 rebounds and 8 assists. He was dishing the ball ridiculous. He had 1 rifle pass to Wade down low. I don't know if anybody saw that watching the game, but it was pretty spectacular. Wade had 10 points. He was 5 of 9 going in, and it was 49-46 OKC at half. And then Miami finally got its first lead since the beginning of the game. After Chris Bosh made the first bucket of the game, they got up 50-49, which was shortly broken away by a 3-pointer by Durant. But OKC, they were not getting back on defense. They were being way too lackadaisy. It was ridiculous. They have such great athleticism. They fast break crazy. But the problem is they don't get back on defense. Guys like Harden don't get back, and then Russell Westbrook, who made a shot at one point in the third quarter, was the first guy back on defense when he made a baseline shot. That cannot happen when you have guys like Durant and Harden and Ibaka on court with them. And then also, my problem is flopping. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but that came from both sides tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Harden flopped. I saw Wade flop a couple times. It's ridiculous, and that was addressed during the television. If you were watching it, they were talking about it on there, but that's ridiculous. I thought Chalmers had an amazing game with 22 points. He had a huge 5 seconds left. The couple side was 1-6 Chet. Haslam, he won a huge tip, which he didn't even really win. Battier had a huge tip off out to Chalmers in the corner, which, you know, when you talk about that with the mistake that Westbrook made and whatnot. So, obviously, I basically concluded there. Like you said, Chalmers, I put the icing on the cake. Westbrook was huge, though, and he shoved. Well, I was one of his critics. He showed me he can shoot the ball. He was shooting the ball consistently all night. He was 20 for 32 with 43 points. Wade shot the ball surprisingly well. He wasn't even making layups. He was making jump shots, mid-range. He was showing the old Wade that I was accustomed to seeing back in Miami before LeBron came along. He showed me he could make the shot and be clutch. And to tell you the truth, I don't know why people are criticizing Durant. Durant did not take over the game. He allowed Westbrook to do that, and he didn't.
Yeah, but I don't blame him for allowing. And I know what you mean, because if Dwayne Wade was having a big game and LeBron James deferred to Dwayne Wade, and that would be the smart thing to do if you're asking me. But if he deferred to Dwayne Wade, then people would say, oh, this is Dwayne Wade's team, he's Rob, and he runs the show in Miami, and I understand that. But for Kevin Durant, he still ended up having 28 points, and allowing Russell Westbrook to take over at that point, I liked it, and I think stars need to be able to do that sometimes. Swallow your ego, because Russell Westbrook right there was giving them the best chance to win that game.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, and I think Westbrook did an amazing job. He made clutch shots at the end. He gave them a chance to win. Ultimately, he ended up making the biggest mistake of the game at the end, but he did give them a chance to win. He made amazing shots. He drove to the basket, just as good as LeBron did all game, if not better from what I saw. And ultimately, like I said, he had 43 points. Wade had 25, and Chalmers had 24 with a huge 4 points at the end. But I'm really impressed with this Miami ball club. They've been playing great basketball throughout the finals. All of them, the whole team, they finally figured out a way to bring their bench into the game, get productivity out of them. You saw it from Vanier. I mean, he showed a physical presence out there. He was fouling. He was playing good basketball. He was being a tough guy, and I like that. They also got James Jones out there who hit great threes. Mike Miller, he had like a couple minutes, but he didn't do anything. But Haslam, he was a great part at the end. He came in for LeBron, who needed a rest and couldn't finish out the game. And like you said, Tim, we will make a video later if there's more news on LeBron, which hopefully there isn't, because I don't want it to be blown out of proportion. You never like seen that about a player.
Well, hopefully there isn't, just because I want to see the best players out there for the NBA Finals. It has nothing to do with...
Absolutely. And even if this was Durant or Perkins or any of those guys, Westbrook, who got the same injury or whatever, had to sit out the end, we still hope. This is an amazing series. I haven't seen such a great, fun series. High-scoring first quarters. I think it's fun. I think it's fun to watch. I'm sitting here on my bed watching the game, writing down notes the whole game, excited, getting into the game. I thought I was there. It was pretty cool. So I'm excited for Game 5. It's going to be an awesome game going back to OKC, right, Tim?
No, Game 5 is actually in Miami, and that's the one thing a lot of people are confused about, is Game 5's in Miami. They changed the setup in the NBA Finals from 2-2-1-1. They changed, or whatever the setup is for the regular playoffs. They changed it to 2-3-2 for the NBA Finals. I don't know why they do it. I think it's pretty unfair to Oklahoma City and whoever that team is that starts the first two. And quite honestly, there's not much. If you lose that first game, or if you lose one of the two games you have at home in the first two, out the door goes any home court advantage or anything you had, because they needed to come into Miami and win. I thought they needed to win tonight. I think you could go Game 5, even if they win that, it's 3-2. But I thought if they had won tonight and lost Game 5 and they go 3-2, okay, then I can see them winning 2 in a row. But they lost tonight, now they got to win 3 in a row. I just don't see that happening. I had the Thunder in 7, so I'm not going to say that it's not going to happen. I'd never put anything past it, because weird things happen with LeBron James in the NBA Finals, so I'm not going to act like this is a wrap, and I hope it isn't, because I've enjoyed these NBA playoffs more than any NBA playoffs since the Sixers were in the NBA Finals in 2001. I've enjoyed these NBA playoffs just as much as really any NBA playoffs I've ever seen, and it's incredible, really, that this has been such a good series, and it could end in five games. I mean, that's really hard to believe. Watching Kevin Durant, watching LeBron James, I'm excited because I'm a Sixers fan, so I hope, first and foremost, the Sixers make the NBA Finals. But being that the chances of that happening over the next 3 or 4 years isn't very likely unless Evan Turner becomes a star, I would be very happy to see this NBA Finals for the next 3 or 4 years, and I think that there's a very good chance of watching these high-flying and exciting Thunder. It makes me want to go play high school basketball again, and then I remember that I don't want to go to practices the whole year, and I am not Kevin Durant or Russell Westbrook, so I'm probably not going to be a superstar, so then that part goes out the window. But just watching this, I've really enjoyed the overall product at the NBA Finals. Whether you like LeBron James or not, the bottom line is that since he went to Miami, and all the hype has been around this. The NBA's product has gone way up, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that just the product on the court has gone up, but a lot more of it has to do with people like me were getting bored with the NBA somewhat and fading away, and that buzz around LeBron James got people back watching the NBA. It got people to watch him, to root against him. It got people to watch him, to root for him. It got people like me who want to get a lot of views on their show and talk about great sporting events. It got people like me watching again, and you give props there. I mean, I'm not giving props to LeBron James because he didn't do that on purpose. He just went to go win a championship in Miami, and he's one game away from doing that now. But overall, I hope this NBA Finals goes a couple more games. One other note I'm going to throw in, and I'll give KJ another chance to talk. Jason Reed, Sonicsgate director, interviewed him last week. Obviously, the Thunder were the Sonics, and they were at the game tonight with their Sonic stuff. It appeared on TV a few times, and according to them, it got taken away by the NBA. Big middle finger to David Stern for that one, because first of all, you stole a team from that city, and second of all, you need to let them have their chance to represent. But KJ, any other thoughts on this game?
I pretty much summed it up, except I just gotta say that I'm excited to watch the next game. Like you said, it's gonna be in Miami, which is a huge advantage for Miami, and completely unfair, like you said, to Oklahoma City. I really do think that setup's really stupid, because if you do lose one of those first games, and say you do lose even one game, you were done with home advantage for the rest of the series, which is absolutely absurd. I don't agree with it. I want to see LeBron win, but I don't agree with that setup. I'm just excited to watch the next game, though. I'll probably be... I don't care.
Wait, you cut out there, KJ. Say that again.
I said I might be working next game, but whatever happens, I don't know.
Yeah, alright, you cut out a little bit there, but we get the point. Anyway, Game 4 of the NBA Finals just wraps up, and man, this has been great. I don't want the NBA to end, because quite frankly, everything is going downhill with the Phillies, and the MLB is still great, don't get me wrong, but as a Phillies fan, it's been tough to watch, and then after that, I get to see the Andy Reid pissed me off for a few months. So, NBA, please last a few more days. I'm enjoying the hell of it. Follow me on Twitter at CashKelly_TRST. Like The Real Sports Talk on Facebook. And, oh yeah, our website. I'm not giving out the name yet because you could go look at it now and it's not ready. Our website will be launching Thursday at 12 a.m. Got a bunch of bloggers lined up. Our videos will be on there. We accept freelance bloggers. Send me anything you want at cashkellinac@gmail.com. If it's good enough, I'll post it. If it sucks, I'm not going to post it. So we're pretty much at an equal ground there. I'm Tim, he's KJ, and we will see you later.